Hi, Grant Lynch here for another episode of Go Local, and very, very proud to be here with Chris, the owner of Prodigal Micro Bakery here on Junction Road in Nunawading. Hi Chris, welcome.
Hi Grant.
So this is just one of the best little finds I've come across for a very long time. The quality of your baked goods and pastries that you're doing, it is like, I'm not just City of Whitehorse class, it's Melbourne class, Australian class, world class. It is the flavours, the creativity that you're putting in with your pastries. What's the inspiration? How did this all come about?
It's been a passion and a hobby for a very long time. I was an intensive care nurse. And
so you're not a pastry chef originally?
Not originally a pastry chef.
Right.
So intensive care nurse, and was teaching for a long time in some of the major metro hospitals. So that's my first career, and then moved into business then, and then did a not-for-profit startup. And after that it was like, well, I'm ready for a change, ready to do something different. And one of those things was to take my passion for baking and to actually have a go in doing that commercially. So I went and worked in a fine dining restaurant that had high-end patisserie, making pastries and taking that hobby into the commercial scale, and I loved it. And I thought I wish there was something that was closer to home, because I've been in the Whitehorse area, I've been in Nunawading.
So you live local? Yep, Nunawading.
Yeah. So my husband was actually born in the street behind.
Oh really? That close?
Yeah, that close, like literally just over the back fence. And then we lived just like 2 blocks away, just to the south, and now we're just in Donvale, just across the freeway. So
beautiful.
We've always been in this area.
So were you the one that the birthday party, you'd make up some creation and everyone would go, oh my God, this is so great, you've got to start a business?
Yeah.
Yep.
And also it's just like my husband and I have always had a real passion for hospitality. So we love hosting people and having people over and cooking for them. And my husband's an excellent home chef, and I've always loved the baking side of things, so that works really well.
What a perfect combination, dinner and dessert taken care of.
Exactly right. So just that idea of being able to share that more broadly outside of just our friendship group, to be able to connect in with the community, get to know more people in the community. Sometimes we get very isolated, and just that idea of being able to share my passion for hospitality and for baking with more people, and not have my poor family eat or try to eat all of the things that I like to bake at home.
Chris's test kitchen at home has become the Nunawading's kitchen of choice.
Exactly. For me, it was very much, how can I bring my passion, but also bring what I had learned in the CBD, but bring it actually home, local, the place that I wish that I could go to locally, but actually to make that happen, but also to have it as a hub in the community where it's not just about the pastries and the coffee. I want it to be exceptional pastry and exceptional coffee, but it's also about our community and how can we actually create a space where people are known, where they're valued, where they can get good food, but be part of that broader community.
Love that. That's awesome. And it is exceptional pastries.
Thank you.
Exceptional focaccias. I had your focaccia sandwich I had recently. It was incredible. Coffee is absolutely on point. And the spiced apple fizz. Just a really creative little concoction, as opposed to just an iced latte or something like that. The pastries are the standout. Walking in the first time, this was an established cafe previously, which me and the kids used to frequent during COVID and things like that. Walking in going, oh, I wonder what they're doing, will it be something interesting and different? And my goodness, it's exactly that. Interesting and different. We've got a couple of examples here. So, croissant, pain au chocolat, classics, and what you're doing there is amazing. But so eggplant Danish?
So what we do is we've got our sort of standard range. It's very focused around laminated pastries, or viennoiserie is the official name for it. So we've got the viennoiserie, we've got the scrolls, and we've got the focaccias on Fridays and Saturdays.
Focaccia Friday, don't forget.
Focaccia Friday. We have our croissant and pain chocolate, as you mentioned. We have danishes. I like to just do something interesting and keep it interesting for myself as well as for everyone else. So we have a weekly special. We have a sweet Danish and a savoury Danish. So at the moment we have a autumn berry Danish. So that's got blackberry jam in the bottom, a white chocolate cremo underneath, some seasonal autumn berries, and some little edible flowers that are on top. Our savoury Danish is just new today. We have silken tofu in the bottom.
Oh, really?
And then there is a glazed eggplant, which is a slow-cooked eggplant with soy, garlic, and Korean chili, and lime in it with a bit of coriander. So that sort of really rich umami flavours that are in there.
Fantastic.
We also swap around the flavours of our cruffins. So I think our most...
Cruffin or cronut? What do we...
So it's a cruffin, which is a croissant in the shape of a muffin, which I say tastes like a donut. So it's a bit of a hybrid. A cronut is a croissant in the shape of a donut that's deep fried.
They're just amazing. Whichever way you want to spin, cruffin, cronut, so good.
So we normally change those fillings out, and again, it depends what's in the season. So we have a few substandard ones. So at the moment, being autumn, we've got blackberry cheesecake, which is blackberry jam and a cheesecake cream, which is mascarpone and vanilla based.
Yeah. And it's all filled, as in the cream's through the middle of it.
All filled. The other things that we have, I think one of our favourites would have to be the pistachio twice baked. So a lot of people talk about almond croissants. We don't do an almond croissant, but we instead swap it out with pistachios. So it's, I think, tastes nicer. It's a little bit less sweet than some of the almond croissants. But definitely sells out pretty early in the mornings.
Almond croissants, passe. Pistachio croissant, that's the new jam. That's what everyone's going to be eating from here on in.
That's right. And we've also do some rotating other ones. So at the moment we've got a pan of chocolate twice baked, which is a mocha. So it's got a coffee syrup from our manta ray outsider beans that we use, with a chocolate frangipani, which is like a chocolate brownie filling that's inside, with a whipped coffee ganache on top. So that's our mocha.
Love a good ganache.
And I think the other two favourites would be our pan Swiss. So this is ham and cheese, but it's a 3-cheese bechamel. So
it's got bechamel sauce in there.
Oh yeah, there's Gruyere and Parmesan and some cheddar. It's got gypsy ham, triple smoked gypsy ham in there, and some more cheese. And so you get that with this cross lamination, which is one of my favourite things. It gives a real crunch on the outside, but then it's soft inside. You get that melted toasted cheese. It's got a bit of the
gooiness to it, yeah?
Exactly, with those little toasted cheese bits that pick out around the sides. The scrolls would be the other thing that people come in and ask for.
So I think every time I've been here, there's always a scroll. There's varying flavours, but they are exceptional. What are we doing here?
So that's our cinnamon scroll. Originally, the intention was to rotate the flavours through, to have, we had berry scrolls and apple scrolls and cinnamon scrolls and what have you, but the cinnamon scrolls everyone keeps asking for, so now they are the standard. We haven't been able to rotate that off.
With the amount of frosting's the right word? What is it?
Yeah.
The volume of that, it just, every bite just says more and more into it. It's
a
great touch.
I think cinnamon scrolls are one of those things that everyone has their preference for how they like it. So as with everything that I make, is that I make it how I like to eat it. If I don't like to eat it, then it doesn't go on the menu.
Right, so
the cinnamon scroll for me is how I like to eat them, which
lots of cream cheese frosting.
Yeah, well, my husband would say too much cream cheese frosting, but that's okay. So light and fluffy, but still bready. Sometimes other ones can be on that much more softer dough side of things, almost like a steamed bun, whereas this is more like the traditional cinnamon scroll.
I don't mind saying I've been in a couple of times during the week hoping to get a focaccia sandwich, but now I know it's Focaccia Friday. Now, I can understand we're not having it every day because there's a real love about the process that goes into it, but my goodness, your focaccia sandwiches are just amazing. So Focaccia Friday, why do we just do it on a Friday? Like, what goes into the process to make what you do so special?
So with everything we make, it's a 3-day process, and focaccias are in that same boat. So in terms of the focaccias, we do a cold prove overnight. So we first make a poolish, which is a sort of getting the yeast activated into the flour, which helps to improve the texture and flavour of the focaccias. We then, the next day, make a mix where we mix all the dough together, and that then proves overnight in the fridge. And then on that 3rd day, that's when we cook the focaccias. So again, they prove again the 3rd time. So we do some topped focaccias, but also we do some filled focaccias as well.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of extra labour. It's an extra workflow that we add in there. So we do that on Fridays and Saturdays.
I never knew that it took 3 days to make focaccia breads. So
you can make them faster, but we choose to aim for a particular light and fluffy, high hydration.
Crispy on top, it's got that aeration in there.
Exactly. And so to get that and to get the texture and flavour that we're after, it does take that 3-day process.
And so with your pastries, same 3-day process that you follow?
Yeah. So the pastries, and in fact the scrolls as well, is also a 3-day process. Yeah. Croissants, we make the dough one day. It needs to rest for 24 hours in the fridge. Then we add the butter layers into the dough, and we roll out and cut and shape the pastries. And then again, they rest in the fridge, and then they prove overnight and are baked off the next day. So everything that we make fresh every day. We don't, cook off a whole lot and have them sitting out the back and just bring more out. So
when you sell out, that's it.
There's nothing more to bring out. Exactly right, because it takes 3 days. So we have to plan 3 days in advance. And so that's just trying to get a feel of how many people are going to be coming in, but also because it's one of our core values is fresh is an important part of that. It's what makes it different. A lot of people can buy in pastries, but often because of the supply chain, it means that they're a day old or 2 days old and ask, can you heat it up in the oven? So if people normally ask us, can you heat that up? We say you don't need to heat it up because it's actually fresh. Yeah. And it really makes a huge difference, that texture and the flavour. So everything is fresh, everything is baked in here, and that's really important to us.
Yep.
People ask us, what's a micro bakery? Is it a teensy tiny bakery? So a micro
definitely
bakery,
on the smaller side of things, the commercial stuff.
It's certainly a little cosy out the back, but a micro bakery is where we're just doing small batches. So it has started with just me doing all the baking that's out there. So it's very small batch, everything fresh, only making enough for that day. Small batch, but high quality.
And I think, I've been here on a few occasions later in the afternoon. You pretty much sell out every day from what I've seen. So the quality of what you're putting into your creations, the flavours, it's been such a local buzz in the area. Those that know, we're a bakery, but we're also a coffee shop as well. Great quality coffee. Where do your beans come from?
We're very proud of our coffee. As you said, we are a bakery, but we're also serve specialist coffee.
Yeah.
The reason we do that is because I love my coffee and I don't want to drink bad coffee. So when we were setting it up,
too.
Exactly. So when I was setting it up, I was like, I really want great coffee. So we use Manta Ray coffee. Manta Ray is located just off Rooks Road in Nunawading, so just around the corner.
Yep,
exactly.
Love that.
They're local, but they're also one of the best roasters in Melbourne. Yeah. They have exceptional coffee. We use the outsider blend as our main coffee. For me, I'm after something that's quite rich, that will sit well with an espresso or a ristretto. Ristretto's more my side of things, but also hold up well within the milk. And the outsider blend, and in fact most of the Manta Ray beans, they're really consistent in their quality. So you can get a lot of variability with other coffee beans, whereas the manta ray beans were consistently good quality extraction from the beans.
Paid $7 for a coffee the other day. It's starting to seem to creep up a bit.
Yes.
Your coffee options, I think you've certainly priced well for the market.
Exactly. Well, we value our coffee, and we also don't like paying too much for coffee. It is always a bit of a squeeze because obviously coffee bean, the actual raw beans, the price has gone up significantly. Same as chocolate and chocolate beans. But yeah, we really value having good coffee, but reasonably priced. So indeed, it's at that $4.50 to $5 level rather than the over $7 for the coffee. So we do the standard coffees, but we also do cold brew and we do batch brew as well. So we highlight single origin roasts for those filter and batch brew coffees.
So open here Tuesday to Saturday, morning through to early afternoon. We've got a number of schools up the road, obviously very strong influence from the local community. Who's your customer base? Who does this appeal to? Who are your local residents that are here every day?
Yeah, we've got an amazing local community. We have a lot of people who are walking past, going to walking their dogs on the walking track.
As the dog walk past.
Exactly. Yeah. So we have the walking track is really close by along the freeway, and we're right near one of the exits of that. People who are on their morning walks. A lot of people working from home as well. So come past, get their morning coffee, come back for morning tea or for something for lunch as well. We're really proud of our local connection. Our staff are local, so it's very much a locals place, and that's very much how we like it to be as well. So as people come after school drop-off or between meetings, squeezing things in, or visiting the other local businesses that are in our fabulous little strip here. So we have the hairdressers, so we'll have people coming down with halfway through getting their hair done and things like that, or going round to G's, to the beauty round the corner, or to Gemma, a wonderful cake shop with the wedding cakes and special event cakes. She does an amazing job there. Or getting their dogs watched next door.
The dog grooming.
We even get some from the midwives around the corner as well that are coming through. So it's a really great little community in terms of both the other shops and as well as those that live in the local area. So that local focus is really important.
Well, thank you, Chris, for everything you do, the passion, your love for your products and being such a great member of our community. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Grant. And thanks, Jealous Craig, for featuring us on Going Local.
Most welcome.